It was just another ordinary night. March 8, 2014. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 prepared for takeoff from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. The destination? Beijing, China. The aircraft? A Boeing 777, one of the most trusted and technologically advanced planes in the sky. The time? 12:41 a.m. On board were 239 people, men, women, children, families, students, artists, business travelers, and crew members. People from 14 different nations. They boarded with no idea that they were about to become part of one of the greatest mysteries of modern aviation. The flight took off smoothly. The weather was calm. The pilots, Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah and First Officer Farik Abdul Hamid, were experienced. Air traffic control cleared the plane through its ascent, and soon it was cruising at 35,000 feet. Then, silence. Somewhere between Malaysian and Vietnamese airspace, MH370 disappeared. Not just off radar, off the grid, no mayday, no distress call, no communication. The transponder stopped transmitting. The aircraft dropped off civilian radar at 1:21 a.m. Initially, it didn't cause panic. Air traffic control assumed a communication issue, but as minutes became hours and the plane failed to land in Beijing as scheduled, a grim realization began to form. Malaysia Airlines made a public announcement. We have lost contact with flight MH370. The world froze. Families waited at the arrival gate. Phones rang endlessly unanswered. The search began, but no one could have imagined what would follow. The plane was gone, and the question that shook the world still lingers. How does a massive modern jetliner vanish into thin air? 1:21 a.m. MH370 drops off civilian radar. The first minutes are filled with confusion. Air traffic controllers in Malaysia and Vietnam try to make contact, assuming technical trouble. Hours pass without a trace. 6:30 a.m. The flight fails to arrive in Beijing. Families waiting at the airport grow anxious. Malaysia Airlines issues an official statement. The plane is missing. The search begins. Rescue teams from multiple countries scour the South China Sea. Satellite data, military radar, and ships all join the hunt. Days become weeks. March 15th. Investigators reveal the plane's transponder was deliberately turned off. Satellite handshakes, brief signals from the aircraft, suggest MH370 turned west, then south, flying for hours after losing contact. Search zones shift. The Indian Ocean becomes the new focus. International efforts intensify with ships and aircraft combing vast stretches of open water. April 2014. Underwater search operations begin, listening for pings from the aircraft's black boxes. The signals fade. No wreckage found. July 2015. A breakthrough, a wing fragment called a flaperon, washes ashore on Reunion Island, thousands of miles from the original search area. It's confirmed to be from MH370. Years pass. Debris pieces are found on distant shores, but the main wreckage remains elusive. The official search is suspended in 2018. To this day, MH370's final moments are still a mystery. The world continues to ask where did the plane go and what really happened on board that ordinary night. The breakthrough came not from radar, not from black boxes or eyewitnesses, but from space. A British satellite company, Inmarsat, was the only line of communication MH370 had left. Every hour the plane system sent automatic handshakes to the satellite, like a ghostly echo saying, "I'm still here." These weren't GPS signals. They didn't reveal exactly where the aircraft was, but they gave something else, distance from the satellite. Engineers analyzed these pings. The final ping came at 8:19 a.m., 7 hours after takeoff. From that they drew two giant arcs, one going north, over Central Asia, one going south, deep into the Indian Ocean. Two corridors, two possibilities. If MH370 went north, it could have flown over dozens of countries. Thailand, India, Pakistan, even Afghanistan. Someone would have noticed, someone would have seen it. No one did. The more likely path was south. A lonely stretch over the Indian Ocean. No land, no radar, no witnesses, just water. So began one of the largest and most expensive search efforts in aviation history. Australia led the mission. Satellite data was refined and a probable crash zone was identified, about 1,200 miles southwest of Perth. For years, ships scoured the seafloor. Deep-sea drones mapped terrain never seen before. Vast underwater mountain ranges and canyons, but the ocean kept it secret. No wreckage, no black box, nothing. And then, in 2015, a breakthrough. A piece of debris, a flaperon, washed ashore on Reunion Island off the coast of Africa. It was from a Boeing 777. It was from MH370. Over the following years, more pieces were found, on beaches in Mozambique, Madagascar, and Tanzania. Confirmed. MH370 had gone south, but that was all. A few scattered fragments, no fuselage, no passengers, no flight recorders, just silence and salt. Could it have crashed in the ocean unnoticed? But here's where it gets bizarre. A plane vanishes, hundreds of satellites, military radars, global media, and yet, no answers. In this vacuum of truth, theories multiplied like shadows in the dark. Theory 1, the pilot suicide. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, 53 years old, veteran pilot, over 18,000 hours in the sky. Some said he was troubled, depressed, that his marriage was failing, that he was living alone, that he had political opinions. Some even claimed he locked the co-pilot out, depressurized the cabin, and quietly guided the plane into the sea. A final calculated act. But there's no suicide note, no clear motive. Friends and family reject the idea. Was he a scapegoat or the man behind the curtain? Theory 2, hijacking. Some believe MH370 was hijacked, but by whom and for what? There were 2 passengers traveling on stolen passports. Interpol flagged it, but they were ruled out. Their backgrounds revealed nothing suspicious. Could it have been a terrorist plot? Unlikely. No group claimed responsibility, no political message, no demands, just disappearance. Theory 3, cabin fire or mechanical failure. Another idea, a fire in the electronics bay or cockpit, a short circuit. Smoke filled the cabin. The crew became unconscious, but the autopilot kept the plane flying, until it ran out of fuel and fell silently into the sea. It's possible, but unlikely. Fires don't last for 6 hours, and satellite ping showed controlled turns, not random drift. Theory 4, military mistake. Some speculate the plane veered near sensitive military zones, near Diego Garcia, a secretive U.S. base. Did someone shoot it down by mistake, then cover it up? Officials from the U.S., Australia, and Malaysia have denied this, but trust has already been eroded, and secrets, especially military ones, are never easily uncovered. Theory 5, cyber hijacking, a darker, more modern theory. What if the plane was taken over remotely, its systems hacked, its pilots powerless, guided into the void by someone unseen? It sounds like science fiction, but in 2013 Boeing patented a system for remote takeover of an aircraft, as a safeguard. Could someone have turned that system against itself? And yet, no evidence, no fingerprints, no claim. Theory 6, the political cover-up. Some suggest governments know more than they're telling, that key radar data was never released, that air defense systems picked up MH370 and said nothing. Was it incompetence or conspiracy? The Malaysian government was slow to act, contradictory statements, deleted military radar logs. Why? Why withhold? Were they afraid of revealing their own defense weaknesses, or was it something much bigger? Theory 7, something we can't explain. For some, nothing fits, and when nothing fits, the mind turns to the extraordinary. Wormholes, portals, parallel dimensions, alien abduction. Most dismiss these outright, but for families waiting for answers, even impossible hope is still hope. In the end, these are just theories. The truth remains elusive, lost, like the aircraft itself. The ocean held her secrets tight. Families were left with more questions than answers. As the years passed, the case of MH370 became a global obsession, a riddle with no answer, and where certainty failed, theories filled the void. Some grounded in science, others far more speculative. Let's break down the most gripping possibilities. One popular theory is the hypoxia event, a sudden loss of cabin pressure. The crew and passengers lose consciousness within minutes. The plane, now flying on autopilot, continues its arc over the southern Indian Ocean until it runs out of fuel and crashes. Simple, tragic, but if that's the case, why did the plane change course so intentionally? Why turn back across the Malay Peninsula and fly for hours? Autopilot doesn't zigzag like that. Perhaps the most controversial and chilling explanation is pilot suicide. Captain Zahari, a respected and experienced pilot, may have deliberately planned the disappearance. His home flight simulator had routes shockingly similar to the final believed path of MH370, but his family, friends, and colleagues strongly denied any psychological issues. There was no suicide note, no known motive, and why wait hours before taking the plane down? Why take such a complex route? Could someone have hijacked the plane? Some point to possible stowaways, others to inside help. But there was no ransom, No demands, no communication. If it was hijacking, it was the strangest one in aviation history, one with zero payoff and total secrecy. Could the aircraft systems have been hacked? Some claim a remote hijack was possible, via the aircraft's communication systems. But Boeing and cybersecurity experts argue this is virtually impossible with current technology. Still, the digital breadcrumbs of MH370's movements raise questions. Were there software tampering attempts? There are darker speculations. What if MH370 was accidentally shot down during a military exercise? The US, Thailand, or even China have been pulled into these rumors. Some believe the truth is being hidden, intentionally. But there's no public evidence of debris matching a missile strike. No recovered black box, no radar confirmation. Then, there are the wild ones. Alien abduction, a time portal in the Indian Ocean, a Bermuda Triangle type event, a black hole. These ideas seem absurd, but they reflect something deeper. When we can't explain something, our imagination fills the void. In 2015, part of a plane wing washed up on Reunion Island. It was confirmed to be from MH370. Over the years, other small fragments were discovered across the Indian Ocean, but never the main fuselage, never the passengers, never the cockpit, never the black boxes. MH370 remains one of the greatest aviation mysteries in human history. A modern aircraft flying in clear weather vanished into thin air in the age of satellites, data, and global radar. 239 souls disappeared, and their families still have no closure. In a world filled with constant connectivity and surveillance, MH370 reminds us of something haunting, that even today, in all our technology and pride, we can still lose something completely. A ghost flight, an open wound, and a mystery that continues to haunt the sky. Maybe one day we'll finally know what really happened to Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. But until then, it remains a chilling silence, echoing across the oceans.